Hello there, pre-matriculants. Welcome to Educate. In this video, we'll be focusing on soil erosion under the topic of resources and sustainability. Stay tuned. So, what is soil erosion? This is not the first time you're hearing about soil erosion because probably you've heard it around primary or something like that, probably in grade 3 or grade 1 or something like that, right? So basically, soil erosion is the process where the top fertile soil it is lost after being blown away by wind or after being washed away by surface runoff. So basically, the top soil or the top fertile soil can actually be washed away or blown away by wind or by water. And we say that the soil is being eroded. So the term soil erosion simply means that the soil or the top fertile soil, it is being blown away or it is being washed away by an agent such as the wind or surface runoff. So basically, the main cause of soil erosion, it is water, because basically when there's heavy rainfall or maybe there's a surface runoff from that rainfall, let's just say it was raining heavily and that water is like flowing to other places, it will just wash away all the soil. Just like in this picture, you can see that this soil has been washed away by the water, especially this usually happens after heavy rainfall. So water, it is one of the agents that causes soil erosion. So basically, the erosion by water, we usually say is water erosion. And then the other agent that can cause soil erosion, it is wind. So basically, when there are strong winds, they can actually pick up and they can transport soil particles all around. So basically, this can basically be something that you don't notice because the wind doesn't really blow away so much soil, okay? But basically, wind does play a role in eroding the soil, because basically, if you go to a dry area, when the wind blows, it can be able to just pick up all the soil and then deposit into other places. This is just having some small effect because it doesn't like pick up huge amounts of soil and then it like throws them around. No, the wind doesn't act like that, okay? Basically, it will be just like dust. Those small soil particles, they are being picked up, they are being transported. So this is known as wind erosion. It usually happens in dry areas. And then we also have got a deforestation and overgrazing. So basically, deforestation is when there is a removal of vegetation and trees. So basically, when you are cutting down trees, you are deforesting. Oh, yes, you are deforesting. Yes. So basically, when you are removing the vegetation, you know that vegetation actually protects the soil. So basically, the soil that has got some vegetation or the soil that has got plants on top of it, it is not easily washed away or it is not easily eroded by water or wind. But the moment you go to an area that does not have any vegetation on top of it, an area that does not have any vegetation, it's just a clear place with no plants on it, the soil is easy to wash away. So basically, when you are cutting down trees and when you are removing vegetation, basically what are you doing? You are exposing the soil to be washed away easily. So basically, deforestation as well as overgrazing can expose the soil to erosion. So overgrazing is basically when the livestock is you know that the livestock, they feed on the vegetation, right? For example, the cows, if you've got cows at your home, the cows actually feed on the grass, right? So if they overgraze, meaning that they keep on feeding on the same grass, they will actually remove the vegetation. So basically, they are removing the vegetation by keeping on like eating the same grass. So overgrazing can be likened to deforestation as well. They all expose the soil to erosion. Then we've got this agricultural urbanization. So basically, you know that in the agricultural world, there's intensive farming. So basically, when you till the land or when you keep on farming on the same land over and over again intensively, or when you do it too much or excessively, basically you are causing the soil to be eroded, to be weaker. All right. So basically, it's intensive farming as well as monoculture. Monoculture is basically when you are planting the same crop all over and all over again. Each and every year, you plant the same crop at the same place. For example, let's just say maybe this is maize that is being planted in this field this year in 2025. In 2026, I plant maize again on the same field. No, you need to do this thing known as crop rotation, whereby you plant maize this year, next year you need to plant something else that is different. So if you keep on planting the same crop at the same place each and every year over and over again, basically you are causing the soil to be easily eroded, okay, because the soil kind of becomes weak in some way. And then construction and urbanization is one of the factors causing soil erosion. Why? It's because basically during construction activities, maybe they are building a town or building a city, they have to destroy vegetation, all right? They cannot just like build on top of the grass. I mean, you cannot start and build your house on top of the grass. You have to clear the place, right? Clear the place and start building or start constructing whatever that you're constructing. So this urbanization, when more people are moving into the urban areas, there need to be more space that is built. There need to be more houses that are built or more industries that are being built. So to do that, you need to cut down the vegetation. And as you are cutting down the vegetation, you are exposing the soil, and soil erosion can be escalated in that way. So basically, why are we so interested in this in the first place? Why are we even studying soil erosion? This is because soil erosion has got an effect on us as a people. So basically, there is a loss of fertile land. So basically, the first effect of soil erosion is that it actually leads to the loss of fertile land. Remember, we said that soil erosion, it is when the top fertile soil is being washed away by some agent or being blown away by wind. Okay, so basically here, this is affecting us as humans, because when this soil that is the top soil that is fertile is being washed away, it actually reduces agricultural production. So it reduces agricultural production, because remember that for us to be able to plant and to plant some crops such as maize meal, such as beans, so that you can eat and have full stomachs, we actually need a fertile soil. How can we plant without having fertile soil? So soil erosion affects us as humans. That's why we need to study it and know its causes and try to have some solutions to it, right? So basically, the removal of that top fertile soil reduces agricultural production. Basically, when the soil is no longer fertile, even if you keep on planting on the same soil, that soil will not be able to yield you anything. It won't be able to grow your crops. And this will definitely reduce the food security as well, meaning that people will just stay hungry. They won't have access to nutritious food, because we cannot plant without having fertile soil. And we need to protect our soil. As if you are interested in farming, just know that this video is definitely for you. You need to protect the soil and keep it fertile so that you can continue producing more using that soil. And then there is also increased sedimentation. So basically, the eroded particles, they can block the waterways, causing sedimentation and reduced water quantity as well as the quality of the water. So basically, when the soil is being washed away through erosion, or when the soil is being eroded, that soil can actually accumulate in water pipes or in waterways. Look at this diagram illustrating the process of sedimentation in pipes. So basically, these waterways are the pipes that actually feed us water, are the pipes that supply us water in different households. Okay, so basically, when continuous soil erosion occurs, the soil can actually accumulate in the waterways, or it can block them. Look at the first pipe. This pipe has got some sediments. Basically, so the soil is just being suspended within the waterways. Okay, we won't explain the process of sedimentation in a scientific way, but basically, in general terms, we're trying to say that the soil here that has been washed away by some water or by some wind, it is accumulating in waterways such as the pipes. So this is actually reducing the water quantity. So there will be less water in this blocked pipe compared to this pipe, and also the quality of the water will be lower, because imagine drinking water from such a pipe that is having the soil. So basically, it increases sedimentation and it blocks waterways. And then there is also a reduced water infiltration. So you need to remember that basically the soil can absorb water. During rainfall, the soil actually absorbs water, or maybe the water sinks into the soil. But when the top fertile soil has been washed away, basically the the water cannot be absorbed into the soil, right? So basically the infiltration process is just basically when water is actually sinking into the soil. So basically when that soil is being washed away, where will the water sink to? Alright, so basically the top fertile soil is the one responsible for absorbing the water, or that's where the water will sink in when it rains. But now, because the top fertile soil has been eroded away, the water can no longer infiltrate. The water can no longer sink into the soil. Okay, so basically it reduces the soil's ability to absorb water. So this leads to more runoff and more floods, because basically if the water is not sinking into the soil, it will just start flowing away, and that can cause flooding. We need more water to sink into the soil. Okay, we need more water to be absorbed by the soil. All right, but the moment the soil is being washed away, that water cannot be absorbed into the soil. All right, so that water will end up running off. So there will be more surface runoff. And when there is more runoff, or when more water is just flowing away and not sinking, it can cause flooding. Imagine if the water doesn't sink and it just comes and destroys your city. You can see that a soil erosion is affecting us because it actually reduces that ability of the soil to absorb water. Okay, so now since we are identifying such problems, we also have got another one here that doesn't really affect us as humans, but affects the biodiversity. So you know that there are soil species that are found within the soil. There are animals that grow within the soil. So basically when there's soil erosion, the habitats of those animals or those species will be destroyed. So there will be decreased biodiversity, because those species will definitely lose their homes. But now, since we have seen that we have got these 4 problems, we need to try and find some solutions. How can we fix this? Because we cannot survive, because we need food, right? How can we plant food without having fertile soil?
Hey Lapo, I know that you've been enjoying this wonderful video, and most likely you've been enjoying watching this handsome face in front of you, but sorry ladies, I'm taken. I just here to tell you that Educate is on the road to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. So please click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I post new videos. I want you guys to pass. Okay, so if you make my dream true, I reach 100k subscribers, I will make your dreams come true. I will even get you to varsity. I will get you with 7 distinctions. Yes.
So the strategies that we have to reduce soil erosion are the following. So the first one is afforestation. Afforestation is basically the planting of trees on degraded land that helps to stabilize the soil, as well as reducing the soil erosion, as well as improving the biodiversity. So basically when you are afforesting, you are doing the opposite of deforestation. So basically it's the opposite. Deforestation, it is the removal of trees and vegetation from the land, whereas afforestation, it is the complete opposite. It is the planting of trees on degraded land so that we can reduce soil erosion. Because remember that when the land has got some vegetation, or when the land has got some trees on top of it, it's not easy to wash away the soil from that land, because the vegetation or the trees are sort of like covering it. Okay, so if you plant more trees, basically you will reduce more soil from being eroded. And then we also have got cover cropping. We need to be able to plant cover crops. Cover crops such as beans. Basically, cover crops are those crops that actually cover the land. Okay, those crops that cover the whole land when you grow them, such as legumes and whatnot. So planting cover crops such as beans, as well as planting grass, yes, between crop cycles, it actually reduces soil erosion. This is similar to afforestation, because you are still planting something, okay, but we differentiate it, because afforestation is specific to planting trees. Okay, so when you're planting trees, you are reducing soil erosion. At the same time, when you plant some cover crops such as beans, you are reducing the risk of erosion, because basically you are planting some vegetation to cover the soil. So the soil that will be found here at this region, grade 11s, it won't be easy to wash away, because there's some vegetation on top of the soil. You get the sense, right? So there's some vegetation on top of the soil. So it is not easy to wash away the soil. So we have reduced erosion, because erosion, one of the factors that causes it is having just a land with no vegetation. Okay, the soil cannot be easily eroded once there's a lot of vegetation. So if we plant more cover crops, we are protecting the soil. We're improving the health of the soil. We're also improving its fertility. Okay. And then we also have got crop rotation. As I've already told you, that one of the problems that cause soil erosion, it is monoculture, whereby you plant the same crop at the same place all over and all over again. So when you're doing crop rotation, you need to plant different crops in different seasons. So basically, on the same land, so on this land, you can see that we're having beans that have been planted in this picture here. So in the next year, let's just say this is 2025, I've planted some beans. Next year, I should plant something else. Maybe I should plant some maize. Maybe I should plant some sorghum. Maybe I should plant some wheat. Maybe I should plant something else that is totally different from this, okay? So that's known as crop rotation. So we need to rotate crops. So this will improve the soil structure as well as its fertility, and also reduce the soil erosion. And then we also have the building of dams. This one is the most crucial and the most effective solution and most practical solution to soil erosion, okay? Because planting trees, yes, it's not like all of you guys like planting trees. In fact, none of you ever planted a tree in this world. So let's just forget about those solutions. They exist as solutions, but you don't do them. This one is more practical for you, okay, if you want to stop soil erosion. So when you're building dams, you are reducing the amount of water that is running off, or you are controlling the surface runoff. So the building of dams, it is one of the solutions to soil erosion, because it controls the surface runoff, or it controls the amount of water that flows over the land, and it reduces the soil erosion. For example, if you take a look at this picture is showing a dam. This is the dam wall. You can see this is the dam wall. You can see that here the water is controlled, or it is contained in one place, such that when it rains, the water will just accumulate into the dam. But if there was no dam, all of this water will be just being flowing here all over again. And when more water is flowing all over this land, when there's more surface runoff, it means that there will be more soil that will be washed away, right? So basically there'll be more soil erosion. So when you're building dams, it's a practical way of controlling the amount of water that will be running off. It is a practical way of controlling the amount of water that will wash away the soil, because a dam actually contains the water. You know that a dam actually combines the water, or it keeps the water at the same place. It doesn't allow surface runoff. So these are the strategies that we use to reduce soil erosion. Just know that this is very important, especially when you want to do farming. It's very important to protect the soil. Know that the soil erosion is something that exists. So here's an exercise for you to do based on what you just did, the soil erosion concept. Look at this exercise and make sure that you answer it. If you don't answer it, it's your choice. You're going to be the one writing the exam. So this is your exercise 1. If you get solutions to any of these questions, answer in the comments. And then this is your exercise 2, still based on soil erosion as well. Please answer this 15 marks question to your best, okay? And then answer in the comments. So thank you so much for watching this video, Pre-Matriculants. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.